Thank you, Patty.
Hi there. What? Did you hear it?
I didn't hear it.
No, didn't hear it.
Is a green light on saying it is recording?
It says pause or stop recording, and when I
Okay.
hit the Alt-C button, it said, do I want to stop recording?
All right, then I think you are recording. Do we have people?
I'm hoping it's recording.
Okay. And do we have people on Zoom?
No, we don't have
Oh, okay. Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome.
Good morning. Okay, so it says it's recording.
The technological parts of church, you know. At one of my churches, when we do our joys and concerns, they turn it off, and so you hear stop recording, recording beginning. So again, I have to build that into the order of service of just how we move along. But thank you for being here. I'm Reverend Susan Frawley. It's my honor and privilege to be with you. I haven't seen you since almost last spring or the beginning of summer, so I hope everyone is well. I know a lot of people are on vacation today, but I'm glad for everyone who is here and who has shown up. I think we're going to have a lovely beginning to our church gathering time of our fourth Sundays. I have to remember we're in the fourth Sundays of each month, so there we go. So let us begin with our land and social justice acknowledgement. The land upon which this church sits is stewarded by the Haudenosaunee people. We pay respect and admiration for all that this proud group of people have done, continue to do, and we hope that as time goes on, reparations for the injustices and aggressions that have taken place will occur. Our social justice acknowledgement has as much to do with who we are as Unitarian Universalists. Within the new values, which still incorporate our old principles, there is a component about social justice and democracy. And so towards that, we acknowledge that it is our obligation as Unitarian Universalists to rise up, side up with those who are marginalized in society and community, and make sure that people not only have a place at the table, but they have a firm and represented voice. And so now I call you to be present. If you haven't turned off your cell phones or put them to stun or worship setting, whatever that is, and then just take a moment to take in our sanctuary. Every Sunday, it's different. It depends on the seasons, the weather, the humidity. Hopefully that goes away in a few weeks. The fog of this morning. But just take a moment to settle yourself, ground yourself, and make yourself present for what we are about to engage in together. And technology for finding the things that I've saved. So there we go. This being the first day of fall, at least according to meteorologists and others, although we know that we're going to get some more bonus summer coming along. But these are the words of Mariska Merkanovska, I had to practice that one, who is an author, who says, "We breathe air exhaled from trees whose leaves are made of starlight. Our veins echo with the patterns of rivers, branches, and root systems. We are not a part of nature. We are nature." And this is author Mariska I'm not going to try her last name again, Mernikovska. Hopefully I said that right. But those words carry us into our chalice lighting. Is it treat? Are you doing, who's the usher today? Oh, there we go, Wally. Thank you, Wally. Okay.
Trust me with the matches.
All right. And if you would find in your order of service our words for our chalice lighting. Yeah, use this one. Does that have a wick? Oh, it does. Okay. If you would find our words for our chalice lighting, and may we repeat them all together. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, Spirit of freedom. And I invite you to find hymn 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Patty's going to play us into it. We are going to sing all the verses. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Thank you, Patty. Please be seated. It's part of our practice of being together. It's part of our ritual that we put into our Sunday service to take time to share our joys, our sorrows, our concerns. And so in a moment, I'm going to invite you, if you'd like to light a candle, or if you are remembering someone who has passed, to place a stone in the vase up on the candle table. I've been doing a practice of always lighting a candle for world peace. And I can't think of a time when we need it more. So I light this first candle for world peace. And I invite you to share. Oh, and I almost forgot. I think it's on. We'll see.
Morning, my name's Meg. I wanted to place a stone in memory of my brother-in-law, Ben, who passed away August 6th, I think it was, suddenly, and in his memory.
I would like to invite everyone to collectively consider Bill Lisk this morning. He's going in for that rather important and not simple operation on his upper aorta. I think his operation is scheduled to start tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. Let's just all think about Bill for a moment together.
Hold it if you want. Thank you.
First of all, I'm going to start off with a sorrow. One of the members of my club, the Buffalo Bulldogs, passed away. And for those who don't know who the Bulldogs are, they're kind of like a biker leather club for men. And anyways, his name is Neil, and he'll be missed. Now, I also have a concern, and it's from my sister's husband. He's pretty sick. He refused to let the ambulance take him to the emergency room yesterday. And I hope my sister can talk him into going. You know, he's I'm not sure what his problems are, but it got a lot to do with his drinking. And he drinks a lot of hard liquor and stuff, and I know that can be really rough on the body. So now I have two joys. So I actually got four things here. One, I'm getting a new roof on my garage, and hopefully this guy named Fred can do it this Wednesday, is what we're scheduled it for. And the other joy I have, I'm retiring from my school. It'll be November 1st.
Oh, all right.
So I will be fully retired.
Good on ya. All right.
I do have a joy to add. I did have an interview this week for a job, so I'm actually the opposite of Paul. I'm coming out of retirement, sort of, for a part-time job, but I didn't get it. But that's okay, because it lit a fire under me to keep looking for whatever comes into my path that's meant to be. Thanks.
Oh, you can go ahead. Did you want to? Okay. Does anyone else have anything that they wish to share? For all the joys, for all the sorrows, for all the concerns, for our dear Bill, who we hope has a very successful surgery, to all of these, we give our best intentions, our best energy, and we bless them, amen and a women. So for the month of September, we tend to follow some of the spiritual practice themes that the UUA puts out. And of course, September is all about invitation, about ingathering, about coming back into the church year. And the Reverend Pamela Rumacek, who is the pastor at Countryside UU Church in Palestine, Illinois, wrote this. It's called, "Who Are You Really?" When I was in seminary, a common icebreaker was to share something inane about yourself, one that stands out, something that nobody would ever possibly know about you unless the prompt was put forth. The question that day, what kind of toothpaste do you use? Really? Toothpaste? Now, I didn't remember what I said back then, But today, my answer would be euthymol. Yes, euthymol. Hope I said that right. Yes, it's weird. My wife and I try to reduce plastics in our lives, and the personal care aisle is especially challenging. We tried powders and tablet options, but we were not happy. And then Karen found euthymol, which comes in an old-fashioned metal tube. It's pink, it's minty in flavor, and it gives a nice foamy, regular toothpaste experience. Now, my toothpaste choice says that I try to live in right relationship with the earth. It also tells you that I'm not a purist. Baking soda just didn't do it. I hope it tells you that I'm open-minded and willing to try new things. What does your toothpaste reveal about you? Does it have a message that you can discern? Or are you simply grabbing whatever you grabbed off the shelf in your haste to take care of a dozen other shopping responsibilities? I guess my professor had a point. The smallest things do reveal a lot about who we are. And these are the words by Reverend Pamela Rumacek from Countryside UU Church. And now we are going to take up our offertory, which goes to serve the very good works of this church. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. So the title for today's sermon is Back in the Saddle. Now, back in the saddle is an idiom that was used when describing something that is resumed after time away. Of course, if you're in the saddle, you're in power or in control of a situation. September is a time to be back in the saddle in many ways. School, church, community events, football, although not today. Many of our churches, and you as well, have celebrated ingathering, which is a UU tradition. We don't have too many of those. Our flower communion, our ingathering, and our water ceremony are ours. And in that, it's a way that we come back in community with each other. And today, we are acknowledging the action of getting back into practice for all the things September brings, such as waking up earlier for young people who've had a leisurely summer, lesson plans for our teachers, planning lunch and breakfasts for parents or by parents. For others, it can be anticipating new traffic patterns with the morning commuters that now have to include school buses, the stops, and children crossing in crosswalks. And church. UUs have always been an academic attendance group. But with September, it brings the every Sunday opportunity to attend service. This is an important thing. Now, it's not required. Don't worry, you're not going to lose heaven points if you don't come every Sunday. That's again, of course, if you believe in heaven. But with UUs, it's about choice. And for many, that choice of being able to come to church every Sunday is very important. Of course, you have been doing services through most of your summer, but many of the churches go on a bit of a sabbatical, sometimes limiting the number of services or using lay personnel to do the services there. I was sharing with a colleague, they did not know that many UU ministers take off for the summer. They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, most UU ministers have off for the summer. That was unheard of, unfathomable. And yet, it goes in line with so much. I said, even some of the congregation take off for the summer. It is not unusual. But we are now here back in the saddle time. And with that, we also have to plan for our travel, especially if there's a Bills home game, although Niagara Falls doesn't get affected as much. But in the South Towns, you better plan an extra hour if you're trying to drive on the 90 with all the crazed fans getting out to Orchard Park. It also goes with being here, whether it's getting up in the morning and getting yourself ready, or actually just being here, getting into that mindful, soulful, spiritual place and presence that lets you best be present here. For many, church time is a time to just be grounded or to get grounded with calm, easy energy. It's a chance to get back into thinking about what matters to you or discovering maybe even what that might be. That's a part of our journeys as UUs, that personal self-discovery of what we consider to be true or right or meaningful. It's a chance to reflect, to feel, to be supported, and hopefully to be inspired. And not just by the minister, but by the sharing and the stories that we share as part of our worship experience, where we do talkback, but also at fellowship time after. I again had shared with some other UUs about some of the big churches. Some people don't even come to the service. They just show up for coffee hour. And they were like aghast. And I'm like, but there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. People are finding community. So if they don't want to come to the service, if they come to coffee hour and sit and talk, connect, that's okay. That's all a part of it. Again, everyone finding that personal truth and meaning. So today, marking that invitation to be part of presence. And part of how we do that is to bless items that we use to carry with us every single day, in no matter what it is we are doing. For children, it may be book bags. For workers, it may be satchels, briefcases, purses, Wegmans carry-out bags. Whatever it is, whatever the bags are that are part of your life, today we're going to give a little blessing. And even if they're not here, we'll do it virtually, because it's important. When we walk or move into the everyday work, we carry many things with us. Some of those are internally, our thoughts, our feelings, our happiness, regrets, worry, excitement, sometimes even sickness. And externally, our vessels. We pack into them so many things that we rely on to help us throughout our day. Think about this. What's in your bag? Could it be pens, lip balm, water bottles, cell phone, paper, just to name a few? When I was a parent, I had 2 bags. One was for all the snacks and the goodies. The other was the diaper bag. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And those bags, while they're big and lots and full, as the children get bigger, that becomes smaller too. But then sometimes for us, our bags that we carry with us become bigger because there's things we need to have with us every day in some capacity. Have you ever thought consciously about what you put in your bag? Whatever it may be, whatever it is that you carry or use each day, have you given thought to what's in it? Like travelers of old who filled their saddlebags with the necessities for their journeys, what is the necessity for your daily journey? And sometimes we carry things in our bags that are part of old journeys. And those things no longer serve our current path. But we don't take the time to consciously think about what's in our bag and what are we carrying. It can be an amazing exercise to take your bag, spill it all out, examine the contents, think about the stories that go with each thing, and then make a decision about whether or not you want to keep some things or bless them and send them off into other journeys as well. It's an important thing. Sometimes we forget that we are in charge and in power about what it is that burdens or enriches our everyday world, especially in the bags we carry. And again, not just our work or school days or other bags, but our spiritual self every day. We carry in that spiritual bag of our presence, our body, our soul, whatever you want to call, where you hold your root of faith or beliefs. We carry within their learning, joy, guilt, regret, worry, and love that has been a part of our individual paths to understanding is that we believe and practice. And so as we grow and expand our personal understanding, we discard and add to that spiritual satchel. Now that may be a new idea to those who are used to very rigid and unbending faith ideas that do not evolve with time. But today, well, I brought my work bag, we'll use it. We have a backpack, and you have your backpacks that allow you to make the determination of what goes in and what goes out. Some days, so much stuff fills these packs and bags and satchels that you may find it difficult to walk with them. How many of you have ever seen those middle schoolers? They got their backpack on. My daughter was like this. I swear to God, they're all going to need chiropractic care someday because they have to carry everything with them. It's always there. The requirements such as books and computers and all the rest. But some days, the satchel and the pack is light, perhaps even nearly empty, and with that, open to new ideas, new tools, new possibilities. But no matter what, whether it's burdened, light, every day these packs represent work that is required to be present in whatever space we are putting ourselves into for learning and growing. And in every aspect of our life, we bring these forward. And today we're going to bring them forward, whether physically, holding in laps, or just in your mind, so that we can bless them. And so let us do that. If you have a bag with you, but if you don't, you can hold it in your lap, you don't have to bring it up. Or if you don't have a bag or the thing you work most with, we could go ahead, a woman brought her gardening bucket, because that's what she does every day. It was so good. Hold on to your bag, think about it, and let me give you a blessing. And this comes from one of our UUA websites. Nameless one of many names. Today, we lift up all of the people in this congregation and all of the work that they do. Today, they are ready to receive a blessing, and they are ready to think about the bags, the contents, and the journeys that their bags takes them upon. We ask blessings upon all of these satchels, all of these purses, all of these bags. They will hold so many things that are important to each person. And as this occurs, may each person be reminded of the love and the care of this congregation that also surrounds them and carries with them every single day. Additionally, we pray for the teachers, the administrators in the schools. We pray that they can be blessed because their jobs are getting harder and harder every day. We pray for workers out in the area so that they also can work and thrive in safe environments. We also wish that every bag that everyone carries can be as light as possible so that it carries the most essential and the most helpful and the most worthy of growing tools. And so with that, we are reminded that from our UUA website, our beliefs are diverse and inclusive. We have no shared creed. Our one shared covenant is expressed through our inseparable and deeply interdependent sharing of our values of interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity. And let us never forget that all of these grow from the place of love. And so with that, may all of our packs, satchels, person filled with love. Amen. Women. And so, it's my favorite part of church, talk back. And this is an opportunity for you to speak on any of the ideas, topics, or anything that came to mind as we were going through the beginnings of this morning's service. Yes. So, I invite you to talk back.
As soon as you mentioned backpacks, I remember my poor old pack and me, I used to run around. So it died. Now I have this Patty has a grand old bag now that she's using, and she doesn't run anymore. She pokes along.
Thank you. I think it's on. No?
I turned it off, I'm pretty
Oh, push the levers forward.
Good morning.
Let me see for a second. I'm not sure. That's working? Oh, yeah, it's green. Okay, you're all good. Yep.
I don't hear an echo of my own voice.
Ah.
Well, I was thinking about two of my bags. First, the bag that I used at Youngstown State University when I had science classes. I was wearing a backpack, and unlike most of the other kids, I didn't sling it on one shoulder because that would have destroyed my back. I had to use both straps. And in the back, it stood out this far. It looked like the pack on the back of an astronaut's spacesuit from Apollo because it was full of those huge science books, which tend to cost hundreds of dollars each now, but they weren't cheap then either. And then the other bag I thought of was the one that I use now that I should have brought with me this morning, which I last used when I had atrial fibrillation and called an ambulance to take me to Memorial. And while I was waiting for the ambulance, getting dressed, I also packed my bag. I got the bag out and I put in my laptop, both my phones, and my chargers. Because I learned in the past, if you're trapped in the hospital without your electronics, you can't contact anybody, and you're as bored as crap.
True.
So that's what I thought of this morning in terms of bags.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the toothpaste analogy. I was thinking about that. I use Sensodyne. Does that make me sensitive? I don't know. Two bags. One of them, I wish Peter was awake for this, is a bag that says, "Warning, contains banned books," which I got during Trump's last dynasty, or so whatever the hell you want to call it. And so I wear that proudly wherever I can make it, at the library particularly, but wherever I think I can make some sort of a point. And then I have my purse, my Vera Bradley purse. It's not Gucci, but you know, it's Gucci to me. I love Vera Bradley designs and the flowers and everything like that.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Well, I guess being that I have less than 2 months of school left, my backpack's pretty small.
There you go. Did anyone else wish to share? Betsy, did you have your hand up? Oh, okay, sorry. Anyone else? Well, I want to thank you for sharing. Also, thank you for paying attention to each other. That's part of that community building, or sharing of stories and sharing of information. But as I always say, and with great gratitude, when you share, you're ministering to me, and for that, I am grateful. So thank you. Yep. Our closing hymn is number 46. Now the day is over. So I'll give you a moment to find that in your gray hymnals. Patty will play us in. There it is. And we're going to sing all the verses. Thank you. Please be seated. Are there any announcements that anyone has for the good of the congregation? Nothing. Okay. Our benediction today is based, but not from, Timothy 1:7. but written in a union. O nameless one of many names, today we pray for students and learners, workers and dreamers. Give them minds that are eager to learn. Give them courage to ask good questions, confidence to take risks, and the discipline to study and to focus. May they have quality friendships and safety in and out of the classroom and the workspace, and may it be so. Amen and amen. And so we will extinguish our chalice, and you can find our words in the order of service. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And Patty's going to give us some postlude.
Yes. So, thank you, Peter, for mentioning Bill. Sometime during the summer when Bill did his presentation, I came in towards the very end, and he was having a Patty moment, which I call, crying for apparently no reason. But there's always a reason. And he couldn't get through the first verse of this particular hymn. And this particular hymn my mother used to sing to me. So here we go, Bill. This is for you. I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever. And here comes the tears known. Hurried back to his Bill. Always here was for Bill. That's so funny.